Hello there. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing some of my favorite art supplies and tools that I think would make great gifts for the upcoming holiday season. If you are an artist yourself or you're trying to think of what to get for an artist in your life, I should also mention that a gift card to stores like Blick or Michaels would make an amazing gift. That way you or the artist you're shopping for can choose what they would like from the store. Now to get into the products and supplies, this desktop easel is adjustable and fits nicely on my small desk. I use it for both traditional drawing and digitally drawing on my iPad. As far as features go, there are two metal rings that a provided carrying strap can attach to, rubber feet on the bottom so your tabletop doesn't get scuffed up, and a 1-inch ledge to hold your work in place when at an angle. I love that the easel is also adjustable. The two notches on the right allow the easel to sit at different heights, while the third notch on the left allows it to lay flat. This easel is made from durable beechwood, and the workspace measures about 12 by 17 inches. Moving on to paper, I really enjoy using this Artist's Loft palette paper. I like using this paper especially for smaller projects like sketchbook paintings. It allows for quick cleanup, and I tend to use just a small section of the page for each painting, so I'm able to use one sheet for at least 4 or 5 paintings. This paper is glossy, allowing the paint to mix easily, and this pad measures 9 by 12 inches with 40 sheets per pack. As far as sketchbooks go, I love using the Canson XL Watercolor Sketchbook. This is a great pad of paper to have on the go, especially when using wet mediums like watercolor, gouache, or even markers. It has cold press paper, meaning it is more absorbent, resulting in a rougher texture on the paper. I think this sketchbook is great for getting ideas down quickly with leftover paint or experimenting on a smaller scale with wet mediums. It measures 7 by 10 inches with 30 sheets per book, nice and compact and portable, which is why I love it. In contrast to the watercolor sketchbook, the Strathmore Bristol Smooth Pad is made with hot press paper, meaning it has very little tooth or texture, so it makes for a nice smooth surface for drawing, especially when using dry mediums like colored pencils. I prefer to use the 11 by 14 size that comes with 20 sheets per pad. Next up for brushes, I love the synthetic Princeton Select Artiste brushes. I use these almost exclusively for painting with acrylic gouache. I love how versatile this line is, as these brushes can be used with multiple mediums, including acrylic, watercolor, and oil. My two favorites of all of these brushes is the 1/4 inch angular shader and the number 12 flat shader, but I think all of these brushes are great. They hold paint well and they sit comfortably in my hand because they have a nice tapered handle, and they have lasted me years and years with very minimal wear and tear. For use with watercolor, I've recently discovered ArtSmith brushes. I love the pointed tip of the bristles, allowing me to easily change the width of my strokes. These are soft, tapered, and I think they would make a great gift for someone relatively new to watercolor, as they are really great quality without a hefty price tag. Next up, we have my tried and true Holbein acrylic gouache. These paints are acrylic-based watercolors, so they are significantly more opaque than traditional watercolor. I love that these offer a range of opacity depending on how much paint and water you use, so you can go from a thin wash of color to thick, opaque strokes. They dry down to a matte finish, and other mediums like markers or colored pencils can be layered on top of dried paint to make for some fun mixed media pieces. I love that there's a wide range of colors available to choose from, or I can stick with the basics and simply mix the primary and secondary colors together to make a whole bunch of colors whenever I choose, all because these paints mix beautifully with one another. Another great feature is that a small amount of paint goes a long way, so even though these 20 to 40 milliliter tubes of paint aren't huge, I know I'm still getting my money's worth out of using them. Sticking with the Holbein family, I have been loving these Holbein artist grade watercolor paints. I only recently discovered these, but I can already say that I love using them. This set of 12 has been a great place to start as someone who has not used watercolor paint in quite some time. All of these colors are vibrant, they blend beautifully, and they can also be layered with other mediums like gouache, colored pencils, markers, you name it. As with acrylic gouache, these 5 ml tubes are tiny, but again, a small amount of paint goes a long way. So far, my absolute favorite color from this set is Permanent Yellow Light. It is just such a bright, happy color. Next up, we have the Mobius and Rupert pencil sharpener. This would be a great gift for anyone who doesn't mind pencil shavings. I love this little guy. It is hefty because it's made of brass. It has a blade that can be replaced, and I should mention I have yet to replace mine, and it has been at least 7 years. And it always gets my pencil sharpened to a nice point. Speaking of colored pencils, I love the Prismacolor brand. These have been my #1 colored pencil for years now. Back when I first started to take my drawing more seriously, I was gifted a set of 12 Prismacolor pencils. I used those pencils until they were down to little stumps, and I've continued on my Prismacolor journey ever since. These soft pencils come in a vast range of richly saturated colors, making them super easy to work with. I like to use them to add details over top of paintings or standalone for a vibrant illustration. Prismacolors have always been creamy, smooth, and vibrant. I love how easily they blend together and the way they can be layered for all sorts of effects. I would say even the avid doodler could benefit from a set of these incredible pencils. Up next on my list of faves, we have the PCA Paint Markers. These are markers filled with a water-based acrylic paint. They are quick drying, super opaque, and they can even be blended when wet. I personally enjoy using the PC3M and PC5M bullet tips, even though I have been tempted recently to get a chisel tip for more precise things, but so far the bullet tips have worked well. PCA paint markers are very easy to use. I really have a lot of fun using them to work out ideas for patterns like this one. As with the colored pencils, I think anyone could have a great time with these, from a beginner to a professional. In my favorite art supply video, I mentioned that I had yet to find a roll of tape that I really liked, and I am so happy to say that I have done it. Frog tape is amazing. I think that frog tape does a great job of giving me nice crisp lines, and it's a lot easier to find since it is more accessible, being in lots of stores and not just specifically art stores. I would recommend sticking freshly peeled tape to a clean surface like your desk or your arm before placing it on your work to take away some of the stickiness and prevent tearing. I think this is a great affordable option for anyone on the hunt for some new tape. My kneaded eraser is another one of those products I will stand behind for life. I have always been so impressed by these things because they don't leave behind any eraser shavings. They last a really long time, even though mine is looking a little worse for wear, and they can be sculpted to create fine details. The one I have is the General's kneaded eraser, and I will always love it. Next up is this timer that helps me to stay on track. I'll typically use this to remind myself to take a break after working for 30 minutes to an hour. It has a sound on/sound off setting that tells you when time is up, and I just love how compact it is, with it never taking up more than a few inches of space on my small desk. Speaking of my small desk, this next tool is great for small spaces. This is the Tonics plug-in lamp, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is great to use even during the day because my desk doesn't have the best lighting, even though I have 2 windows right next to me. This lamp comes with several lighting combinations, courtesy of a dimmable touchpad, along with a temperature setting, so I can pick between 5 warm and cool light modes. It's also fully adjustable, bending at 2 separate joints, allowing for full customization. I love how easily this lamp folds away when not in use, and just how little space it takes up at all times. It comes with a power cable that connects to the base, where a USB outlet is also featured. I fully believe that if you are inspired to purchase anything from this video, it should be this lamp, because I am sure that so many people would love it. I also forgot to mention that the light itself can swivel. Another reason why I love this lamp so much, the capability to rise to just about every possible desk lamp occasion. Now last but certainly not least is my Wacom Intuos Pro drawing tablet in size medium. The tablet comes with a customizable pen, extra nibs or pen tips, the cable you need to connect the tablet to your monitor, and of course the software needed to get started. The tablet has rubber pads on the bottom, customizable quick touch buttons, and a touch wheel. I have had my tablet for nearly 8 years now and it is still going strong. I use all of the Adobe programs with my tablet, and while it definitely had a learning curve when I first received it, I was able to pretty quickly get used to it. It's sleek with the ability to fit comfortably in a laptop sleeve, it's pretty easy to use, and it has sped up my process tremendously. While this tablet is a bit pricey, I would highly recommend it to anyone wanting to get more serious about working digitally without wanting to spend too much money on a display screen like a Cintiq or an iPad. Well, that's it from me. I hope you were able to get inspired by the products and tools in this video. Here is the finished sketchbook page I made throughout. Don't forget to consider my tip about the gift cards, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!